to do to remake this program in his image. Not as a spread group that Mike Price for many years ran here and got to bowl games, but he wants to remake it in his image as an O-line guy and to be physical and to run it downhill. In this second half, though it's not going to show up on any wins or losses, this is foundation building of playing the game your way and your style.
This is Jones on the toss. Jones, the freshman, local product from El Paso. You know, Brock, the score speaks for itself, but how can you get a win, quote unquote, outside of on the scoreboard if you're UTEP tonight?
Well, every single play that you run as a player, especially now in year number 1 of evaluation, is critical. And when you're a young guy trying to make your mark, when you're a true freshman running back, when you're an O-lineman trying to show your coach that you're progressing and you're getting better, these snaps, especially on this stage, even with the game out of hand, are really important in that evaluation.
He keeps it himself, you know, gets the first down. Coach Kugler was telling us about some of the changes in the culture he's trying to create, and he talked about commitment time. And players who transgress the rules are subjected to what they call commitment time, and that means taking away their weekends from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. and got to sit them down, and they do a little mandatory study. For teenagers and ball players, student athletes, that's a lot. No electronics, no iPads, no phones, no texting.
That's the byline. That's the one that's the biggie.
Yeah, you're in the hole, Jack. Nathan Jeffrey in the backfield, and he is met immediately. Stephen Jenkins there to lead the charge for Texas A&M. Third down coming up. Pardon me, second down.
And you still see the starters here coming out of the tunnel in this second half. And I think probably the statement by Kevin Sumlin, his entire staff, was number 1's offensively, go down and score. 1's defensively, get yourself a 3 and out. Well, UTEP finds a first down. Get off the field and get some of these other guys in the game. There's a good look at Mark Snyder. So many new pieces, a lot like UTEP, trying to find young kids that he can build around, and he likes the growth and development of his youngsters, really pushing the veteran guys here. And they're going to need all hands on deck here down the stretch. They go on the road twice to end the season.
Second and 9, a little bit hot over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Thomas, and downstairs to Jessica.
Well, Brock, you talk kind of about that dichotomy of the youth versus the older players at UTEP. Talking to Sean Kugler this week, he said, you know, the older players are still stubborn with the system of the past. The youth is embracing it. And he said there's that kind of both that fighting of each other. And once everyone can get on board, he knows that things are going to change, and they'll have not just the talent, but they'll be able to buy in.
That's why they've only got 68 guys on scholarship right now. 22 scholarship defensive players. 29 he inherited, 7 are gone. And not getting that buy-in to do it his way.
3rd and 9, the screen well executed. Jones broke a tackle, but he stopped up short of the first down. Boy, what you gotta be able to say that this Aggie defense has been pretty stout tonight.
And a good look at Gavin Stansberry there. Just a career day a week ago against Vanderbilt. And he's got to be a difference maker for him. 6'4", 255 pounds. He's not one of those freshmen that's got to put the weight and the strength on. He's one of the juniors that they've got to depend on at the line of scrimmage. And I know that the Texas A&M folks really hope that the light bulb went on a week ago against Vanderbilt and stays on the rest of this season.
First punt of the night. They blocked one. Fair catch called at the 27-yard line. That's where Johnny Manziel will take over. So many different temperaments, so many different faces of the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. Covering the entire spectrum. Elation, frustration, and beyond.
More Tostitos Cantina chips at table 3. Coming right up.
This table is incredible.
Here you go. All right. Hey, babe, how are you?
What are all these people doing in your apartment?
They think it's an actual Mexican restaurant.
I'm glad you're here. We're actually short-staffed. Need a rush. Put this on.
Tostitos, Cantina, chips, and salsa. Real restaurant taste, wherever your party's at.
They need more salsa at table 5.
Waiter.
You mean the ottoman?
Yeah.
Using cloud technology and telemedicine, Verizon innovators are helping doctors care for patients remotely. So a kid has every chance in the world
the good news is,
no matter where she lives.
we can fix it.
Because the world's biggest challenges deserve even bigger solutions. Powerful answers. Verizon.
The flavor of my spicy chicken sandwich is so bold, I feel like I have to come up with new words to describe it.
Right, yeah. My Island Fire spicy chicken is spice-dictive. Addictively spicy.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
You're thrilled.
That's a word, though.
You're thrill and duh.
Yeah, maybe you should stick to spice-dictive.
What does that mean?
They're simply Spice-Dictive, the original and Island Fire spicy chicken sandwiches, and save room for creamy cheesecake bites. This is how you Sonic.
ESPN College Football Finale, brought to you by Verizon. Never be without football. Call ** NFL to download NFL Mobile from Verizon.
A day in the life of Roy May. He's a 12-year Army vet with combat experience and a member of the Texas A&M Corps of Cadets, serving alongside and inspiring young men and women who are 15 or so years his junior. He ran for one of Texas A&M's coveted Yale leader positions and was overwhelmingly elected by the 50,000-member student body. I'll tell you what, it's pretty impressive when you go to one of those midnight yells and you watch the hand signals and the different chants. It's one of the many great traditions of college football here at Texas A&M, and Manziel down in a crowd. Hey, are you surprised that Manziel is still in the ball game right now, Brock?
I am, especially based on the conversations we had in the building yesterday and the thought process of getting both Matt Jokel and Kenny Hill an opportunity to play. They wanted to see both of those kids. I think everybody knows that Johnny Manziel has got about 4 games left here at A&M after this one. He'd like to get some experience for some of those youngsters, and that was certainly the conversation yesterday, playing out a little differently right now.
Manziel slipping and falling, fumbles it. The ball loose at the 17-yard line. Still no signal. They're going to say that Texas A&M will retain possession.
And for a guy that's had a knee sprain and a shoulder sprain in the last month or so, I mean, this game is out of hand. There's only one negative that can happen on this field tonight, and that's for some reason something either with a shoulder or knee or something else to occur with Johnny Manziel when the game is already largely decided.
Third down and 20 coming up. A bullet complete to a wide open Gonzalez, who's still on the loose and finally corralled at the 27-yard line. A huge gain for the Aggies offense.
And once again, finishing the throw there. You love the trajectory. Those are the kind of throws that I know my buddy Tom McShay back in Connecticut is watching, is all the guys evaluating and looking at how his game can translate. Those are the fundamentals you like to see.
Into the end zone for Evans, touchdown! They finally made the connection tonight. Back to business as usual for Manziel and Evans.
And that's now 6 touchdowns, a bit of a stat play, I think, on that drive to get Mike Evans his numbers, his comfort. Johnny now with 4 touchdown passes, 2 more on the ground, and that's got to be it.
Well, you mentioned the stats and the impressive ones. The extra point good. That ties a school record, Mike Evans, with his 12th touchdown catch this season. For a guy that's only been playing competitive football for 4 years, the former hoop star, man, that was, to use the basketball analogy, nothing but net.
Bernie and Ernie, Tuesday at 8 on ESPN.
We're just looking, right?
Of course.
This is the Leo Diamond.
Wow.
It's the first diamond ever independently certified to be visibly brighter.
It's perfect. It even fits.
That's because I already had it sized. Will you marry me?
The visibly brighter Leo Diamond, handcrafted by the master diamond artisans at Leo Schachter at K, the #1 jewelry store in America.
Yes.
Every kiss begins with K.
This is for my mother. This is for my chance at law school and the opportunity to change my life. Be one of the many winners of the Dr. Pepper Tuition Giveaway. Share your story and tell us how you will make an impact on your community. Dr. Pepper is changing students' lives so we can change the world. Log on to ESPN.com and search Dr. Pepper to tell us your story for a chance to win. And tune into Dr. Pepper Championship Week on ESPN.
At Tom Light Chevrolet, with a 2014 vehicle purchase, receive 2 years scheduled maintenance, complimentary car wash, and a loaner vehicle with every standard service visit.
The people are what make Tom Light Chevrolet. I think they're their strongest asset.
The feeling of victory is always memorable, something to be celebrated. And that can include the victory of selling your home or finding the house that's right for you. And when you use the Zwiker & Associates real estate team for buying or selling, you can count on celebrating too, because they have all the tools to help you get to your goal. Contact the Zwiker & Associates team today to see how we can help.
Hey, Bubba, I'm excited we're kicking off a new season.
That's right, Tim, and the experts say no one can beat our team or our prices. Choose from our intimidating front line of Silverados, extended cabs, crew cabs, and heavy duties.
Only at Tom Light Chevrolet, your Texas best Chevy dealer.
Well, get your NFL Sunday started on ESPN at 10 a.m. Sunday NFL Countdown. Chris Berman and the crew giving you the facts and the stats. And why the Dallas Cowboys, amongst things, just can't seem to finish a game or a season. And before you set your lineups, catch fantasy football now at 11 a.m. on ESPN News.
We're getting closer. I think we're going to throw right to him, right?
It's getting late. Here's Golden on the kickoff return. Still on his feet and knocked down at the 15-yard line. Well, now let's take a look. Oh, there's a flag on the play.
During the return, blocking the back, number 41 of the return team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
All right, now, folks, let's take a look at our FaceTime profile brought to you by Edward Jones. It's on Michael Kelly, linebacker for UTEP, with 3 different tours that he served. 28 years old and a real monument to courage and bravery.
Came in as a walk-on. Coach Kugler gave him a scholarship before this season began. Says it's just incredible to see a guy that served his country the way he has and run down on kickoffs and block on kickoffs and do all the dirty work. A lot of it on the scout team as well. What a stud.
Jones going to pick up about 4 on the play. Stansbury making the stop.
You still see a lot of the number 1s in here for A&M as well.
Well, since scoring that touchdown, the UTEP offense has stumbled. 4 punts, 3 turnovers, resulting in 21 points for Texas A&M. 2nd and 7 coming up. Jones again out to the 10. It'll leave them a 3rd and about 5. Right?
And I got to be honest with you. I don't mind seeing the number 1s in here defensively.
Why?
Well, maybe even more so than the offense, because you don't get this look in practice. You're not going to get the live reps and the live tackling. In this kind of offense, you're going to see it with LSU. You're going to see this power football. And here's a chance for your group. There's a good look at Mark Snyder. It's one thing in scout team, especially with a spread offense as A&M has, and try to ask their guys to line up the fullbacks and tight ends and do some of that. You know, this is really the reps getting them set for a couple weeks from now.
On 3rd and 5, Sullivan Made a nice move. And collared at the 13-yard line, a couple of yards shy of the first down. Claiborne and Everett there to make the tackle. Look at this. Listen to this.
No, that was DeShazer Everett. Ooh. Exactly right. He's the nasty. I would say he's their best defensive player. I can only pick one. He's the guy I'm taking. Corner, safety, pick sixes this year. And he shows you right there why he's the most violent tackler. And I think includes everybody on that defensive unit.
This is where UTEP's day turned around. They had a punt block right down here by their own end zone. This one they get off, and Gonzalez back at the 44, fumbles it. It's live, loose, and UTEP may have gotten that ball back. And it's UTEP football. Gonzalez appeared to be a little bit indecisive, Brock, about what he wanted to do here.
Yeah, that's a true freshman, and you just see him at the very last instant take his eyes off of that catch and looking at the traffic around him, and good effort there. Good hustle play by UTEP.
That's the first Aggie turnover of the night. Dowell made the fumble recovery. Give this minor offense a shorter field at the 31-yard line of Texas A&M. Nathan Jeffrey in the backfield. Sullivan. Doing his Manziel impersonation. Sullivan on the run. And that's going to be a late hit out of bounds. Robinson tackled him a couple yards deep.
Yeah, I think Johnny's calling the horse
Personal
collar.
foul. Defense, number 89. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
And the personal foul. And that's dangerous here, and that's a big fella. You got to just let up.
Johnny's still emotionally attached and involved in this game despite the scoreboard.
And in that conversation about Johnny being a loner, Johnny doing his own thing, Johnny not one of the group, I hope you've watched tonight. I hope you saw him get his battery mates together offensively and give them a good earful, and now very attentive even to the defensive side of the ball.
Sullivan over the middle, intercepted in the end zone, and being brought out to the 23-yard line, Howard Matthews. And a drive-kill interception.
Yeah, that's a no-no, and there have been a bunch of them tonight for Sullivan. This has got to be a learning experience for him here down the stretch. It's going to be his show. There's no more Jameel Showers, and I think you're seeing the difference that Showers made. He had 4 interceptions on the entire season, and Sullivan's well on his way to that mark as we see a new
Kenny
quarterback.
Hill. Yeah, Kenny Hill coming to the ball game now. The 6'1", 215-pound freshman, true freshman, South Lake, Texas. Brought down at the 30-yard line. Back to Wendy in the studio.
Mark, thank you very much. It's a Taco Bell Live Moss moment, Northwestern Nebraska. Nebraska trailing by 3. Ron Kellogg in a Hail Mary, a last-ditch effort. And how about Jordan Westerkamp? Keep an eye. It's a melee down there, but he comes up with the football, the 49-yard TD in the last second, and Nebraska wins by 3.
All right, Wendy, Kenny Hill fires a strike to Jaquay Williams. Pickup of 7 on the play. You know, one of these two guys is going to find it out for the job next year. If, as expected, Manziel enters the NFL draft.
Well, and you can count Kyle Allen as well. He's top recruit, #1 rated quarterback by many scouting services. He's already committed to Texas A&M. Kevin Sumlin as well, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Hill downfield on the money. Great catch. Savion Holmes What a touch block by Kenny Hill.
Yeah, you can't throw it and catch it much better than that. Talked about trajectory on a few different occasions tonight on those deep shots between Evans and Manziel. That's perfect.
38-yard gain down to the 25. Hill complete to the 23. Immediately tackled is Taboyo. Jeremy Taboyo, number 19, his first touch and catch. 2nd down and 6 coming up. What's Manziel doing there, Brock?
Yeah,
what's your guess?
Yeah, he's charting the plays here. I don't have to guess about that. I knew how to do that pretty well.
Hey, I don't know. Sometimes those guys put those dead headsets on. Here's Hill. Rambling down to the 14-yard line. Kenny Hill wearing number 7, a number that was worn by another famous quarterback. Bucky Richardson had a great career here in College Station. One-time member of the Houston Oilers, I'm going to say, for a brief moment. 1st down and 10. Nice run. Trey Williams, touchdown.
We saw the drill sergeant earlier charting the plays and the steps of the folks here in the Corps, and if Johnny's charting that drive, that's well done by everybody. That's an A grade. And Kenny Hill, the big play, the perfect throw down the field, setting up the touchdown run.
Williams with his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, 10th of his career, and the beat goes on for Texas A&M.
Start with a swipe or type to search your stuff and the web all from one place. Let Bing find the photos you've been gathering in the cloud, the music you've been collecting on your device, and all the places you've been dreaming about from the web. Search for anything and everything beautifully and simply with just a single swipe or type. Only with Bing Smart Search on your Windows tablet, PC, or Surface. That's the new Windows. One experience for everything in your life.
As the official hotel of the NFL, our team is constantly helping you to be great in the high-stakes world of business travel. One team, one dream. We're Courtyard, the official hotel of the NFL.
2:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Aggies on a 55-0 run. That's right, 55-0. Trey Williams with a touchdown a moment ago. Mark Jones along with Brock Heward. Jessica Mendoza down in the field. We had a nice little run here in the state of Texas last couple of days. And the South Florida Houston game, and then this one tonight. Bell on the return. A nice head of steam moving forward, back down at the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Well, national title hopes hanging in the balance in the Pac-12 game of the year. That's right. It's got to be Thursday night. Marcus Mariota, number 2, Oregon, trying to take on Stanford's stifling D, while Kevin Hogan and the Cardinal aim for their 2nd straight upset over the Ducks. Who are you picking? It's time to give me your prediction here, Brock.
I think this is Oregon. I think Stanford is a very beat-up football team that's got a long ways to go offensively. Not like what I've seen out of the Cardinal offensively over the last month or so. As good as Mariota's been playing, I think Oregon will have the stage that night. Although Baylor and Oklahoma also play Thursday night. I think Oregon's going to show the country what they're capable of doing for 4 quarters.
Oregon and Florida State, and Florida State well on their way to a win over Miami tonight, fighting it out for that #2 spot. Alabama in the 1 hole right now. 8-yard gain. Nathan Jeffrey in the backfield. Jeffrey hit, as we've seen so many times tonight, immediately. Might have gotten a yard on the play. Under a minute to go now in the 3rd quarter.
1-yard gain on the play. Ball is at
On 3rd down and short. We're going to get the 1st down. Sullivan keeping it himself. How would you critique the performance of Blair Sullivan making the start tonight?
Yeah, this is a real rough night. This is not what you were hoping and looking for in any way. He had some early success running it. He had a very nice movement pass, corner route, set up their first touchdown. But like a lot of young quarterbacks, you got to learn when the play isn't there to avoid the catastrophic mistake, and especially when you're on the road in this venue against the opponent on the other side. Can't give it away the number of times that this offense has tonight.
Jeffrey in the backfield. Sullivan slinging it downfield, has a man incomplete. Through the arms of Ian Hamilton, who found himself open with 3 seconds to go in the period.
I think this is a learning process as well for Patrick Higgins, offensive coordinator, and Coach Kugler of what does Blair do? You know, they've had Jameel Showers all season long, and he's played very efficiently. He's played good ball. And Coach Higgins has got to learn what Blair does best, a work in progress. There's no doubt about that. And that passing game and just those catastrophic interceptions, you've got to avoid those.
Last play of the 3rd quarter here. Sullivan hands it off to Jeffrey. And that's the end of the quarter. Well, been a rough one for Blair Sullivan. He says he likes to listen to George Strait to get his mind right. He'll be listening to it a lot after this.
Reserve for Xbox and get the free fall bonus map.
And so I bought it at Walmart, and then I see it on sale someplace else. So I take my receipt and the ad back to Walmart, and guess what? They matched the price and gave me the difference. Amazing, right?
Whoa. Shop early with our new Christmas ad match. Even if you find a lower advertised price later, we'll give you the difference on a gift card. Walmart.
Easy, guys. Battle's over. We got our PlayStation 4s a while ago, got here early. There were like at least 1 million robots. We won, by the way. That's Dave. He's a crazy man. You should have been there.
Play the future first. Grab a Taco Bell $5 box, and you could win a PlayStation 4 before it's released.
Where are you guys from?
Introducing a car company that's never made a single car. We took the power of a 9-year-old V8 and gave it the impressive handling of Firestone's Destination tire. Now, moms agree. Every milk run feels like a victory lap. So whatever you drive a Firestone.
So, if you have a flat tire, dead battery, need a tow, or lock your keys in the car, Geico's Emergency Roadside Assistance is there 24/7. Oh dear, I got a flat tire. Yeah, can you find a take where it's a bit more dramatic on that last line, yeah?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Someone help me! I have a flat tire! Oh, it's good for me. What do you think?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We sleep in our van every night, but we don't want them to know that. Nothing like a good haircut to make you feel like a rock star.
We just enhance your awesome style.
I really love what you did with my hair.
Supercuts rock the cut.
Welcome back, everyone, to Kyle Field, College Station, Texas. Mark Jones alongside Brock Heward, chopping it up with Jessica Mendoza down to the sidelines as we enter the final 15 minutes of play here. UTEP with the ball, looking at 3rd down and long. On the toss, Jones stopped up after a gain of 3. It'll be 4th down. That summons the punt unit for the Miners.
3-yard gain on the play is 7.
UTEP coming in at 1-6 tonight. Talked about playing under the bright lights against an SEC team, and had their hands full this evening. Labhart back for this punt at his own 26. As for the fair catch, got pushed. And they're going to spot this at the 22. Well, big week coming up in college football. Got Oregon and Stanford Thursday night on ESPN. A game that'll have major implications in the BCS standings. Not sure to hit anybody here. Looked like Jones actually ran into Labhart. Let's look at the BCS news and notes. Oklahoma State ranked number 18.
Good win today over Texas Tech. They were unranked in every computer in the BCS. Well, they'll be ranked now. That was a good win over Tech. Baylor, the big matchup with Oklahoma, just like Oregon, Stanford. Florida State, how about the style points as well with Florida State?
Handling Miami relatively easy tonight in that emotional battle between the Florida schools. Pass complete to the 27. What does that do now for the Seminoles? Do you see any kind of scenario where they end up being in the 2 spot? Realistically, I mean.
Well, I said style points for a reason. I mean, now, and it matters. I mean, the human polls still the majority of the BCS standings. Computers matter, but you got the human polls. And those pollsters are looking at Florida State doing their thing.
Fumble on the field. Loose ball out of bounds. Nobody retaining possession. Trey Carson as the ball carrier, and he's shaken up there on the play. Trey Carson, the Oregon transfer. Want to come back to Texas and play closer to home. He's from Texarkana.
The ruling on the field is that the defender possessed the ball out of bounds. It's 3rd down.
So it'll stay Aggie football. One more look. Carson got popped pretty good.
Unfortunately, that's been a reflection really of the last 3 quarters of play. You've got 3 Miners around the ball. You try to scoop and score, and you just fumble and bumble your way out of bounds.
We're going to take a timeout and come back on the other side.
The Volkswagen Sign Then Drive sales event is back, which means it's never been easier to get a new Passat. Awarded J.D. Power's most appealing midsize car 2 years in a row. And right now, you can drive one home for practically just your signature. Get 0 do-it signing, 0 down, 0 deposit, and 0 first month's payment on any new 2014 Volkswagen. Hurry, this offer ends December 2nd. For details, visit VWDealer.com today.
Don't let unfresh pitch ruin your game. Next time, use Right Guard Extreme Fresh. With 72 hours of uncompromising freshness, it's the antiperspirant that changes your game. Right Guard for the win.
Why is it better to get what you want now instead of later?
Because you don't want to wait to eat your raisins.
You don't want to wait to eat your raisins?
No.
Why not?
Because they'll turn into grapes.
Not sure that's the way it works.
Yes.
Are you competing for cutest kid right now?
Yes.
And what place are you in?
Kindergarten?
That's adorable.
It's not complicated. Now is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest and now most reliable 4G LTE network.
Just keep your elbows in a little more. You think this will catch on? Maybe a little.
Want to win your own football fantasy? Just tell us. Then use your Visa card for a chance to win it.
Let's move a little bit now. Let's go.
Bears, Packers, Monday, 8:25 Eastern on ESPN.
Well, that's Trey Carson of Texas A&M down to the field. They were shaken up a moment ago on that last running play, a play in which he actually fumbled the football, and now they've brought the gurney out and attending to him.
And you're going to take every precaution. We have seen Trey move his arms and his legs and his extremities, but you take every precautionary measure.
Trey Carson, the third string tailback, but gets a lot of touches, one of 4 in all that share the running duties for this prolific Texas A&M offense. It's a transfer from Oregon. It's a hush. A near pall of silence has fallen here over Kyle Field. Once again, if you're just joining us, that's Trey Carson down in the field, injured on the last play.
And you see Coach Sumlin out on the field as well. And you asked him point blank, how do you get guys like Brandon Williams and Trey Carson to come to Texas A&M when Ben Molina's here and Trey Williams being recruited and the top recruits, another top recruiting class, in fact, number 6 recruiting class in college football right now, committed to Texas A&M. And he said it was at Houston that he formed the relationships with Trey, with Brandon. And then when he, being Kevin Sumlin, comes to Texas A&M, and those kids are in situations that aren't ideal for them, well, they make the call because of the relationship that was cultivated by a guy in Kevin Sumlin that is a tremendous recruiter.
Medics obviously being very cautious down in the field. It looks like they're actually going to try and attempt to move him there and get him onto the gurney. We did see him moving his extremities a moment ago. Obviously appears that there's still some fairly significant decisions to be made down there on the field. as to how they're going to transport Trey Carson. It's obviously a very well-trained medical staff. You know, Brock, there's every Saturday we walk through the bowels of the various stadiums we see, and we see the emergency response people, the medics, and we see the stretchers. And, you know, such is the nature of football. It's a beautiful game, but also a game that sometimes results in these types of injuries.
And you hate to see it, Mark, and there's so much conversation about head trauma and injury today, and the rules and the different adjustments and everything that's being made to the game. And this is the unfortunate part of the game. I mean, you just can't legislate the contact away. That was not even a violent collision, you know, seemingly. Yet this is such a violent game that can lead to, you know, very unfortunate situations like this. And you wish nothing for the best for Trey Carson. And if you are just joining us, earlier there was no doubt about it. He was moving his extremities, his arms, his legs. But as we've said multiple times, you take every measure necessary to protect the student athlete and make sure he's right.
And now it looks like they are finally getting him onto the stretcher. All this transpiring with just under 14 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. A game that has been dominated by Texas A&M after trailing 7-2. They've responded with 55 consecutive points. And they're at the part of the game when they had pulled a lot of their number ones. And you can see Carson's hands moving. Brock, what's it like as a player when you're watching one of your teammates go through something like that and you're kneeling on the sidelines praying for his better well-being?
Yeah, there really is no words to explain it. It's just, it's heartbreak. You feel awful for him, and I think like everybody watching and everyone in the stadium, you want the very best for him, and you want it quickly.
Well, we've got Jessica Mendoza down in the sidelines, and hopefully we can obtain some information from the Texas A&M medical staff on his condition and subsequently relay that information to you through Jessica. But a very sobering sight as Trey Carson is taken into the tunnel to be further examined. And now, as a player, Brock, I ask you, how do you flick the switch and get this back going on the field and click it back in, because football is not the type of game that you can play at a half speed. 3rd and 4. We'll talk about that after this play. Hill passing complete and short of the first down by about 3 yards. It's number 18, Edward Pope. How do you get it going?
Well, it's a tremendous challenge, but you've just got to go out there and just like the players have to put a negative play behind you, you've got to go play that next play. And that sounds awful to say when a player goes down, especially with an injury of that magnitude. That's what you have to do in the game. The next guy comes up and that next snap comes and you've got to go execute.
From the 15, Jim Jones. And Jones brought down at the 20. 12:45 to go. 56-yard punt. 5 on the return when we come back.
Tom, you once stuffed 17 days worth of clothes into one suitcase. We admire great stuffing, Tom. Our new 3-cheese stuffed crust is all for you. We stuffed that bad boy silly. Want a large? Give us 12 bucks or get any unstuffed for 10. Go for greatness. Pizza Hut. Make it great.
Mine was earned orbiting the moon in 1971.
Afghanistan in 2009. On the USS Saratoga in 1982.
Once it's earned, USAA auto insurance is often handed down from generation to generation because it offers a superior level of protection and because USAA's commitment to serve current and former military members and their families is without equal. Begin your legacy. Get an auto insurance quote. USAA. We know what it means to serve.
Louis never smiles.
Kiss the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Dad, go long. Dad, Meatball's stealing the ball again.
That Meatball loves football as much as you're going to love our season of savings, where you can get a new Super Duty from Team Ford discounted $11,000 or a new Ford Escape for $21,888.
Nice price.
Plus, we've got new Ford Fusions for $288 a month.
Nice price.
If you have any questions about buying a vehicle, just go to our website, teamofnavasota.com, and click on Ask Mike. Team of Navasota, where you always get a
nice price.
It seemed like I was trapped in a 2-year contract, but I wasn't. I feel like such a fool.
Everyday people reveal the truth about satellite TV.
My satellite searches for signal every time it rains.
Their on-demand is only available on their schedule, not ours.
Is this not America?
Don't be snookered by satellite. Make the easy switch to Suddenlink. With no long-term contracts, no rain fade, and true on-demand with over 10,000 titles, it's TV you'll be proud to call your own.
ESPN College Football Finale, brought to you by USAA, proudly serving the financial needs of current and former military members and their families.
Well, last year, Johnny Manziel won the 2012 Heisman Trophy. John David Crow won it. He was an Aggie in 1957. First down and 10. Nice run by Dowell. Well, Johnny Manziel playing the role of leader. His team coming out a little ragged and disconcerted on offense, and then they flick the switch after that little imploring speech on the sidelines. A couple of touchdown passes later to one of his favorite targets, Laphard and Evans. Kennedy getting in on the action and Johnny getting one himself. The most talked about college football player in a long time. This is Jones now. Brought down at the 40-yard line. Let's go downstairs to Jessica for more.
Well, they took Trey Carson into the training room. They told me that it's a head and neck area and that it's just precautionary. There was movement, as you guys saw, which is a very good sign. But at the same time, they do want to take all precautionary measures and use everything that they have in the training room to be able to do that.
All right, Jessica, thanks for that news update. Second down and 3. Trey Carson, Oklahoma halfback, running back, taken off the field a few moments ago. Sullivan completes the pass at the 37. Nowhere to go for Malcolm Trail.
Good look at Deshaun Hall, one of those freshmen that made last year's recruiting class, one of the most highly touted, highest ranked here in College Station. And as I said earlier, off to a tremendous start again this year, number 6, according to many of the folks that rank these high school athletes coming into the university. More importantly, 3 of the top 4 defensive linemen in this state of Texas, as committed to A&M, and they're going to continue to need that beef, especially in that defensive line.
Down in 7, Sullivan on the move and pushed out of bounds. Texas A&M putting together a pretty impressive recruiting class. 5 in the top 150, 10 in the top 300, a 5-star recruit, and a bunch of other quasars.
Any coach is going to tell you recruiting is the lifeblood of these programs. And it should also tell you that winning begets winning. You have all the hype, all the exposure, the Heisman Trophy, the attention, the facilities here, the fan base, the crowds. But it's a winning in the fact that you win 11 games a season ago, the fact that Johnny Manziel is the talk of college football leads to a tremendous class a season ago and well on their way this year as well.
Fumble by Labhart. And the Aggies recover it with just under 10 minutes to go on the 44-yard punt.
Hey, honey, thanks again for picking up my parents at the airport. Love how
Coke Zero reminds you it's not your fault you forgot to go to the airport. Video games are amazing. 92 artists created this one scene. Millions were spent. Reality can't compare. Plus, are you just gonna let Lord Skilbreth lay siege to Dopenshire? Not today. The Brotherhood of Falcons needs him. They can take a taxi! Because with real Coke taste and zero compromise, Coke Zero lets you enjoy everything.
The Volkswagen Sign Then Drive sales event is back, which means it's never been easier to get a new Passat. Awarded J.D. Power's most appealing midsize car 2 years in a row. And right now, you can drive one home for practically just your signature. Get zero due at signing, zero down, zero deposit, and zero first month's payment on any new 2014 Volkswagen. Hurry, this offer ends December 2nd. For details, visit VWDealer.com today.
Use Chase Freedom at select department stores and get 5% cash back this quarter. So you can give her an even bigger surprise. Activate your 5% cash back at chase.com/freedom. Chase, so you can.
Goodyear helps get you where you need to go at a moment's notice. On road or off. The new Goodyear Wrangler with Kevlar. Goodyear, more driven.
Last year was last year. This is a new start.
Pull up, teardrop. Got it! Derek Rose!
Our goal is to win the championship.
Wow! Unbelievable!
I want to be the best. I'm just trying to do as much as I can to be that, and I'm going to die trying.
Kia tip-off week continues. Bulls Pacers at 7 Eastern. Mavs Thunder at 9:30. Presented by State Farm, Wednesday.
Well, the most storied conference in college athletics will live on a new network. Tradition has found a new home. The SEC Network launching August 2014. For more information, go to www.getsecnetwork.com. Well, it's not always easy getting dressed, as we saw a moment ago during the break. Brock, can you relate to this or not? I mean, and then they try and cover the big fella up. They need a bigger towel. They need to
look at him. Oh, it takes 4, 5 guys.
You need a big staff to handle it.
I think there's a Chris Farley joke in there somewhere. Big guy in a little coat or something.
It's Caden Smith. Hill keeps it and runs, keeps those legs moving. It's not fun time for the number 2s and 3s, still trying to make an impression, right?
Absolutely. This is a time. We talked earlier about that play clock for UTEP and trying to utilize every second of it. You hope here, as much as you want the reps and the opportunity, you hope that you can utilize some of that play clock for A&M as well.
Up top. The catch made, but was it inbounds? Yes! They're going to give it to Williams. No, they're saying no, it's incomplete. Fisher looked like he ran over to spot it, but great effort by Williams.
He's going to be on the line. That's awfully close, and you're right, tremendous effort there. This is always a part of the game you get to, Mark, and you and I have had this discussion a bunch this year. We haven't had many of these games so one-sided. You hear many people say, oh, why are you throwing it? Why are you running up the score? Why not just run out the clock and take a knee? Because these guys have been fighting for these opportunities. This is what they do. This is who they are. And they want their chance to run the system that hopefully for Kenny Hill, he's running next season.
Snap and Aaron snap, and Hill gathers it. He rolls forward for a loss of only 2 on the play. 4th down coming up. Well, that's a pretty impressive wide right.
Ball is at the 35-yard line. And to punt for the Aggies, number 38, Kaiser. And the number 5, Jim Jones for UTEP.
4th down, and the Aggies are going to punt. Jones back at his own 20-yard line for the Miners, calling for the fair catch. And he fields it cleanly at the 23. So you get the jersey on with assistance from 4 different staff members, but what about your hat? You got the right hat? Not quite.
You grab one. You may have grabbed Johnny's. I think you grabbed Johnny's with the visor on.
Well, Texas A&M wearing the new helmets, the red, white, and blue theme, the patriotically themed helmets today. Good look by the Aggies.
I don't understand the difficulties with the wardrobe. Always easy.
As quarterbacks, though, you guys wear those smaller shoulder pads, right?
Sure.
You don't have those problems. Sullivan take off and brought down after a gain of about 5 on the play.
You know, I didn't think we would get into discussion of shoulder pads and jerseys.
But let's go ahead anyway.
Yeah, but let me tell you, there's actually, especially at the NFL level, they use they tape those, especially for offensive linemen. They got that double-sided tape on the shoulder pads. And you put that jersey on, it's not moving. They don't want to give that D lineman anything to grab a hold of. You want that thing to be slick and tight. And sometimes squeezing 300-some pounds into it, not real easy.
Wasn't it the Steelers back in the day that kind of started that? Mike Webster and those guys with tight short arms on the offensive line. And Jones in the backfield as we take you down memory lane here. 2nd and 5. Jones gains 3. It'll be 3rd and about 2 to go for the Miners.
So if you're UTEP and you're Coach Kugler and his staff and you wanted to see effort, this is not an F for effort. I have not seen in any way at any point guys shut it down. Now they've had some gross missed assignments and mental errors and busted coverages. But I think as he puts this tape on, most importantly for him, this was not about effort. This was about talent. This was about facing a team that's far superior than you are athletically right now as you're trying to establish who you are. But I didn't see a lack of want-to out of UTEP tonight.
And finished 2-10 last year and stuck behind the line of scrimmage is Dowell.
And watch this kid right there, number 45, Jordan Mastrogiovanni. He's going to be the middle linebacker next year. At least that's what Coach Snyder hopes, that he can really grow and evolve. You can see it. He's 6'3", 240 pounds, much more the prototypical Mike. And they hope to bump Claiborne out to the weak side linebacker, much more natural position for him at his size and strength. Mastrogiovanni, yet again, another one of those recruits, much heralded, highly recruited talent out of Dallas that they hope can grow into being really their true middle linebacker for years to come.
Watch it bounce. It's going to carry inside the 10-yard line all the way down to about the 5. 6:13 to go, and the clock still running. Back with more after this.
Snatching stuff takes. Oh, what is going on in here?
It's okay, relax. Watch this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hey, Dave. Wow.
Is that your agent?
It's the jingle. Try it.
No.
Like a good neighbor. Just say it.
State Farm is there. With the sandwich.
Oh, yeah. And the girl from 4E?
Oh. And can I get a hot tub?
Nice. State Farm agents help you get to a better state.
The Volkswagen Sign Then Drive sales event is back, which means it's never been easier to get a new Passat. Awarded J.D. Power's most appealing midsize car 2 years in a row. And right now, you can drive one home for practically just your signature. Get zero due at signing, zero down, zero deposit, and zero first month's payment on any new 2014 Volkswagen. Hurry, this offer ends December 2nd. For details, visit VWDealer.com today.
I see you, so maybe we're just on.
Hello, our son Jeremy is in Europe, and his wireless company charges extra for data outside the U.S., so we're getting huge bills.
Turn your phone off, Jeremy. Turn it off!
If you see him, can you tell him T-Mobile has coverage around the world with no extra charges?
For crying out loud, Jeremy. Close an app.
T-Mobile's nationwide data covers over 100 countries at no extra charge. Go to catchjeremy.com to enter for a chance to win a trip around the world.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the hood, the shopping was over. Daddy done good. At the great showroom, he'd never pay more. He'd bought gifts online and picked them up in store. Gifting went great this year. 'Twas a holiday triumph. Well done, good man. Now time for some pie-yumph. Some pie-yumph? Your ultimate holiday showroom with low price guarantee. Best Buy.
Look at the George Bush Library here on campus in College Station, Texas A&M University. We had a great time here over the last couple of days. I had a chance to get out and see some of the Bryan College Station area, have a little dinner and lunch at that little soul food restaurant. And this is Brandon Williams playing with a lot of fire still. Under 6 minutes to go.
Kind of nice when your four-string running back was an Under Armour All-American, top 7 running back in America coming out of high school, decides to transfer out of Oklahoma, wanted to be a part of this program with Kevin Sumlin. That's your four-string tailback here.
Well, you talk about the big season the Aggies had last year, and probably go to an upper-tier bowl again this year, Brock. Kevin Sumlin, very much a hot coaching prospect, and there's a huge and looming popular opening out in the Pac-12 right now. This is Brandon Williams again. And Kevin Sumlin's name has come up. And it should be speculation as for that USC job.
And it should come up. I mean, you're talking about a guy that is young, that knows how to recruit, builds incredible relationships, puts together a tremendous staff. Do you realize the number of assistant coaches that are already head coaches? It's not as if Kevin Sumlin's been coaching as a head coach for decades. But Dana Holgerson, Brian Polian at Nevada, Tony Levine, who we met up at Houston, Cliff Kingsbury, he's already got 4 guys that he's hired as assistants that have been hired to other schools to be head coaches. Probably the most underappreciated talent of head coaches is their ability to build a staff and who they hire and the talent that they hire around him.
Brandon Williams on the loose, all the way inside the 30-yard line. Sumlin, a former player at Purdue, Joe Tiller's day, and Bob Stoops' disciple as well. Very successful, and like I said, a hot candidate right now.
Everyone can look at the recruiting rankings and see the kind of talent and the number of stars and all of that. But I'm telling you, underappreciated, underrated is their ability to put a staff together. And the fact that in a very short time, the number of guys that have worked under him, and Coach Levine the other night in Houston when we called that game. Who does he get on the phone and call?
There are 2 fouls on the play. Block in the back, offense, number 53. That's a 10-yard penalty. After the play, personal foul, defense, number 11. It's a 15-yard penalty, an automatic first down.
I'll tell you when you know you're pretty popular is when on Halloween night kids start dressing up as you as head coach. Yeah. So you go in the Twitterverse, man, there's a lot of mini Kevin Sumlins out there with the headset and the visor and the glasses perched on the visor as he is known to do.
Kind of freaked his daughter out, right? What are these people doing? I don't get it.
4 minutes to go. Another one, the new running backs in. This one, Bryce Dolezal. Look at the recruiting class. And, still Texas with their bounce back now. Still doing pretty well on the recruiting trail. And There's so many schools, but so many football players to go around, especially in state.
But head-to-head right here in this state, Texas A&M winning the battles a year ago. Still plenty of time between now and signing day with all the verbal commitments that have to become official. But that speaks to Kevin Sumlin, speaks to the highest recruited classes that have come to this university have come under his watch.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking at that graphic right there. I'm thinking those teams don't play anymore. Well, it used to be part of a great Thanksgiving Day rivalry and tradition. Such is the new and changing, ever-evolving landscape in college football. Ozol with another carry. 3 minutes now. Kessie making the stop on the play. Coming up next, folks, it's college football final. 3rd down and 1. College football live, presented by AT&T. Brock, we've spent a lot of time in the state of Texas, man. We're going out 5 days. It's a good thing there's no state income tax here.
It's a good thing we get that extra hour back tonight, too.
They're going to run it. Dolzy out for the 1st down. 3rd down and 1. Texas A&M going to improve to 7-1 on the season and go back into conference play next week.
Thanks to the young fella putting on the new jersey. They were trending. Texas A&M trending.
Wow.
Got to do what you got to do in the 4th quarter of a 50-point game. But I don't think you should shy away from those conversations. And you want your coaches to be talked about. Every good AD that I've talked to said, hey, yeah, I want my head coach to be popular. I want everybody to be talking about him, to be that desirable, because that means you're having incredible success here.
Dolzy again. Right now, Texas A&M is trending worldwide in the Twitterverse. 2nd down coming up.
I mean, who would have thought it? Who out there would have thought, not just that they were trending right now, but who would have thought coming into last season that Kevin Sumlin and Texas A&M could come into the SEC, and I'm going to contend a much stronger SEC last year than this year, and win 11 games, and a Heisman Trophy winner, right, who had redshirted the season before, and then turn around and come back this year. And you put yourself in situation at 7-2, chance to win a home game next week against Mississippi State, and you go on the road to close it out, but another chance to win double digits. Who would have thought that coming into the SEC? And that speaks to the job that Kevin and his staff have done, and obviously the talents of a certain special once-in-a-generation kind of quarterback.
Yeah, they've assimilated really quickly to the SEC. There were a lot of skeptics that might have been a little doubtful about their potential success in their new conference, but it's not how it turned out. Johnny Manziel, what is he? Is he doodling on the sidelines?
I think now he's just writing some notes.
You know, he hasn't tweeted since August the 1st. It's been a long time, but his game's doing a lot of talking. 3rd time in his career he's been responsible for 6 touchdowns in a game, and this is going to be the last play probably.
In fact, I think if we would have zoomed in, I think he would have wrote down or was writing down trending on Twitter worldwide. A&M 57-7.
And somewhere Drake was watching tonight, watching his boy get it done. This one is cooked, glazed, and sliced. Texas A&M winning it 57-7. There'll be better days, you would think, for Sean Kugler and UTEP. Up next, college football final. For Jessica Mendoza down at the field and Brock Heward up in the booth, I'm Mark Jones. For talented people behind the camera you never get a chance to see, good night from College Station, Texas.
Wide right and wide left, and a legendary coach at Florida State who said someday his tombstone would read, but he had to play Miami. It felt like the good old